Shalom, my name is Yehoshua Yaakov ben Avraham, formerly Michael O'Donnell, an American citizen living in Jerusalem since 1987. I'm making this video in answer to the, is Professor Igor Panarin, former KGB agent, spin doctor par excellence, predicting America's demise, well, by 2010. Sorry, Professor, you're a little late. It's already collapsed. The America that we knew is no more. Wall Street is no more. The whole world has changed. Now, actually, it's a much bigger problem. The crisis of culture globally, which the professor vaguely talks about, is actually correct. It's confirmed by the collapse of the local reality that brings the end of man and mankind's exile. Well, good news. The collapse of the former Soviet Union and the collapse of communism and capitalism produces a new reality, and that is Humanomics and the convergence model of Humanomics, where the East-West and the best of both converge in the middle. Now, that's not predicted by Igor. And what the God of the cosmos, by the way, communism doesn't believe in God, but what the God of the cosmos, which is the God of Israel, is doing is the crisis of culture is the result of man's individual and institutional greed. That was his exile. The exile of mind, its model was giving to receive, I give, I get. That's collapsed. And that reality is no more. Not in former Soviet Russia, former Soviet Union, which is now Russia, not in America, it's capitalism, its individualism collapsed, finished. Everybody was lying in America to one another, to the world, and everybody in the Soviet Union was lying to one another and to the world. And the KGB goon who runs Russia today is a revisionist, and here is Professor Igor and his spins being promoted by this same KGB goon, another KGB goon. Now, don't mean to be offensive, but I just don't like KGB goons. I don't like them in Russia, and I don't like them in Israel. And we've got our fair share of them. Okay, that said, let's come to Tachlis. That's the bottom line. The good news. The old is finished, the new is emerging. What the God of the cosmos, the God of Israel, is doing is this. He's creating a set of circumstances from the collapse of local reality. Everybody thinks they're going to fix and restore the American economy. They're going to bail out AIG. No, it's not going to happen. The American economy has to be transformed. And the process of trying to restore and to recover and to reinvent, reinvest the American economy. The federal deficit is ballooned, and it will continue to. And at some point, there will be a capitulation, and it'll be clear and realized that the recovery will be at best anemic and prolonged, and the debt burden will explode. And the fact of the matter is simple. America is going to have to go out with hat in hand and beg and borrow from the world a massive sum of money, initially $5 trillion or more, to initiate an actual viable long-term transformation of its economy based upon the new economic paradigm to lead itself and the G20 in the world. And it's going to have to do this in partnership with the Soviet Union in the convergence of Humanomics, the East-West convergence model. And the new economic paradigm will then lead the U.S. economy from its 14 trillion present level, now diluted to 13, to somewhere in the range of 45 to 50 trillion in the next 20 years. It will triple the dollar. It will quadruple the ruble. Everybody will be, happy days are here again. There'll be a transformation in the demand of energy globally. There will be laws, international governance regulatory frameworks and cooperation that will prevent the exploitation of commodities, rice, wheat, grain, while the world's LDCs, and they're poor, and the hundreds of millions of starving children, starving, going to bed hungry. Bread to all flesh. This is the commitment that will be required from Humanomics, new East-West convergence model, and it is the priority. And this is where we're going, folks. And America is far from finished. And in terms of what Professor Igor is saying, everybody's got the blindfold on. Everybody's, got to get contact with a part of the elephant. Nobody's got the full picture. And so come to Jerusalem and see. We're going forward. We're not going backward. We're not going to be fixing the U.S. economy or the G20 or the world economy. We're going to be transforming it. That's where we are, and that's irreversible. And so predicting the collapse of America is nothing very original or innovative. It's already collapsed, just as the former Soviet Union collapsed. It is no more. It won't be returning. And Putin's revisionism and Professor Igor's predictions of the fragmentation and the breaking up of America is noise. It's an extended political span. The bottom line is America is undergoing a fundamental transformation, and the result is the democracy that failed, the experiment of democracy, which produced a laissez-faire capitalism that exploited the masses, is finished. And we're moving to a convergence model in America and in the G20 and around the world, which is Humanomics. I'm its author, folks, and it's two paradigms: central organizing principle, in Hebrew, kabel b'shutet, in English, receive it to give, in Russian, well, you'll have to tell me, Professor Igor. And the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor, now replaces the historic division of labor. Its central organizing principle is a model which defines information in classical terms as a new agent of transformation, and its special model is based upon four major enabling technologies: network service system, human resource development, and natural intelligence. And each one of those models has a daunting science and technology complexity that when you combine and develop the technologic infrastructure, there will emerge a vehicle in the United States more complex than the 430 telephone companies that founded American Telephone and Telegraph, the Hoover Dam, and NASA all combined. And the name of it will be macrotech, the enabling science and technology to produce the hard power is its new science technology of Humanomics. And its first principle, central organizable procedure, which is the first principle, I might add, of cognitive behavioral science. I'm its author. Now, no brag, go and Google, but let's finish now. What do we have to do, folks? What do you're sitting out there listening to this video now. Brand it, subscribe to my videos, write letters, demand that we act on implementing with policy and legislation. We have to brand it. We have now about 100 million links on the web. We got to get that. Google has to be able to throw up over 1 billion before we will have the critical mass of recognition, which is soft power, to translate that into, quote, hard power. And hard power derives from possession of the underlying science and technology. This is what Barack Obama is missing: the hard power to govern, to affect a transformation of the U.S. economy. Folks, that's what's coming. That's where we're going. The God of Israel brought the end of man and mankind's exile, and whether we like it or not, we're going to develop, implement, and acculturate new methods of work, production, distribution based upon the new economic paradigm by building, mandating a national global technological infrastructure that will involve and be accessible to all the G20, including Russia. Okay, folks, I'm Yehoshua Yaakov. Let's take the polemics of political science and trash them, and let's get on with what we have to do cooperatively. Thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov from Jerusalem.